What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and beautiful people of the Crasher community? How are you guys doing today? We're back with a new video on the channel. Thank you very much for tuning on in, you absolute legends. So ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we are going to be discussing DarkViperAU. Now, funnily enough, this isn't my first time talking about him, as the last time I did, it was around the time him and Moist Critical had a beef over Viper's 14-page document. That document more or less dumped on reaction content and had some extreme analogies used there. Basically, Viper got mad because people talked about it despite it being posted publicly for the world to see in the first place. We get it, Matt. You don't like reactors. That's absolutely fine. However, why we're here today is because DarkViperAU has, for a lack of better description, basically lost his damn mind. So, 99% of us know an unwritten cardinal rule here as a YouTuber, that is to not abuse the copyright system to silence criticism. Well, that happened, long story short. YouTuber ChudLogic had a video struck down by DarkViperAU, and Viper even lawyered up for that too. Take from that what you will. The video was a reaction and commentary video. Now, let me preface this here before going further. Everyone has a right to protect their content under certain circumstances. If Viper made a video and Chud directly re-uploaded it without adding anything to it, that would be 100% within Matt's right to take it down. However, and the big throbbing however, is that this is not the case. ChudLogic made a 35-minute video critiquing and responding to a video Viper made that was about 9 or so minutes long. Sure, the whole video was played, but let's look at a huge undercurrent here, that being the additions to that video. You have 25 plus minutes of Chud's own commentary being added here to not only transform the video from its original purpose, but also it was a video being critical of DarkViperAU. A video like this does not compete with the original content, nor does it replace the original content, contrary to what some might say. This is not a one-to-one copy, period. Now, this next instance I will be discussing here might seem unrelated at first, but there's a connection here, so please bear with me. I'm going to show you a clip where DarkViperAU does this.
And Tilo just runs around the entire fucking map to come to O2. And I'm like, I had nothing to say. I was literally speechless. I did not speak that entire time because I was so confused why we were still in the game. I have never been this mad at a person in the entirety of my life!
I apologize, I'm still a little new at the game.
If you don't even know how to win the game, why are you playing?
I do, I'm just sorry,
Okay, I get that shit happens in the moment, adrenaline is up, and sometimes people fly off the handle. I don't justify it, but it happens, even to the best of us. However, this is over a damn game of all things to get upset about. So, this clip here doesn't make Viper look good. So what does he try and do? Well, he alludes to striking it down and deems it's out of context.
I don't think this clip existing is communicating the context of what happened, and I think it is just contributing to misinformation.
What is so out of context about this? You are going off on someone over a video game. That's the context right there, pal. That's why that clip exists.
Since this clip has once again been brought up on Twitter by someone who's disingenuous, whatever, I've now said about striking this video. I don't want to, but fortunately YouTube does give you the option to give the person 7 days to take down the clip, or at least reach out to me or whatever and discuss it with me or something before something happens to your channel. There's one copy of this clip on YouTube. In other words, this dude drew 5260, and this small clip has enabled like at least 100 disingenuous people to use this clip for 4 years to attack me with it.
Listen, man, no one is perfect and we all have our demons, but let me make something crystal clear. Just because someone says something you don't like doesn't give you the right to strike down and abuse DMCA, all because you don't like being critiqued or mogged on in the case of you spurging out over a video game. Shit happens, man. Grow up and move on. Be better than that. Well, that last line there was too late in delivery because now it has got to the point where Matt is on a warpath and burning bridges with people that care about him. Enter Carl Jobst as an example. You can see here how it actually really hurt him. Let me read out the tweet here. I have known DarkViperAU since 2018, when we were both small streamers trying to grow. Over the years, I believed we had become friends. I respected him, met him multiple times in person. I specifically brought my wife to a creator party because I wanted her to meet him. I valued him as a person. Recently, without notice and without warning, he banned me and removed me from all socials. This hurt me deeply. I reached out to ask why, and he never even bothered to reply and let me know what I had done. Dark Viper will spend his days arguing with random haters online, but when it comes to someone who cared about him and just wanted to know what I had done to hurt him, he could not care less. At this point, I do not care to know what his grievance is, but I do know that what he did to me was a terrible thing to do, and my opinion of him could now not be lower. So, Maddie, imagine ghosting your friend after you, out of nowhere, sever ties with him with zero explanation, yet you find more time to argue with randos online. Also, given the details that Carl highlights here, such as introducing his wife to DarkViperAU, that there is a pretty damn big deal. And for things to suddenly get trashed like that would hurt anyone, no doubt. I'd like to also add more here from Carl. Dark Viper won't say the reason publicly because it is insanely petty, he knows it. I didn't quote that tweet because I agreed with it, which I don't. I quoted that tweet because it shows Dark Viper will waste immense time and energy on people who hate him, but in my case, someone close to him who he knows in the real world and who would actually be affected by his actions, he won't even bother spending 1 minute to let me know why he ceased a 6-year friendship. This is because Dark Viper is not a nice person in real life, in the real world. It is easy to seem moral when you live alone, have no family to support, have no relationship, and just argue philosophy with online trolls. But when faced with someone hurting directly in front of him, he cannot do the moral thing because he is an emotional toddler. Honestly, fucking wow, dude. Firstly, I am sorry you had to deal with that, Carl. Straight up disgusting. It's funny and kind of ironic how DarkViperAU here wants to talk about people being disingenuous over sharing that clip, yet he proves how disingenuous he is to Carl. Also, the fact Carl confirms DarkViperAU isn't a nice person should also give you something to think about. The fact Viper wastes his time on Reddit and responds to this on Reddit rather than to Carl directly shows further how BS this whole thing is, and how Viper really needs to get a goddamn grip. I do believe I know why DarkViperAU banned me, so I'll just say it, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. At the end of February, I released a video which had a Starforge PC sponsor in it. Immediately after I released this video, DV banned me. Starforge is partly owned by Asmongold, who DV doesn't like because of reaction content, so DV banned me because I promoted Asmon's company. I had very recently spoken with DV on the phone before this, and we were friends right up until this video. It certainly has nothing to do with drama DV's Reddit is dredging up from years ago. DV and I have even discussed this in person together. For my part, I'm getting sued and I have a family to support and consider, so there was no way I was going to turn down the financial security of this sponsor deal and a much needed PC upgrade. Naturally, DV didn't enter the equation when it came to accepting this deal. I think the pettiness of DV's actions is why he couldn't bring himself to tell me the reason. I wanted to showcase this here as well because while it might be speculation at the time of me making this video, it wouldn't surprise me given how much Matt has a hate boner for reaction content or content that paints him in a bad light in response to his words and actions. Anyways, my closing words to DarkViperAU goes like this: get a grip, grow a set, and understand that your opinions on reaction content and fair use isn't the tried and true standard. What you think versus what is are two different things. Remember that.